Hi, how you doing? This is Travis from Curiosity Marketing Group, and today I'm going to show you how to edit various parts on your website. So the first thing that we'll talk about is how to log in. It'll be very similar. It's actually exactly the same as the old website. So you can go to the domain and do /login. And that'll take you to the back end where you can type in your username and password. If you don't currently have one, we can create one for you. Okay, so now that we're in the back end, let me open the front, kind of walk through the various sections. So I guess the first thing that we can talk about is the businesses. So if you were to click on one of these, it'll show you all the automotive that are within the business directory, and you can also find that by coming up here to the business directory. Okay, so let's go back to the back end. Let me put this over here. So if we go to merchants, click on all merchants, let that load. You'll see the full list of all the merchants that are currently within the business directory. And let's see if we can find, let's do the you do auto repair. So you can type in you, hit search, you do auto repair. So we'll hit edit on this, or you can click on the title. And then once you're in here, you'll notice that there's a few different sections here. And let me open their full ad. Okay, so this is their full space. So the first thing that I'll talk about is if there's no image here for either this section or the previous section, which a lot of these currently do not have them, it'll put a default placeholder. So you don't have to worry about uploading something that says no image. It does it automatically for you. Okay, so you'll have the title here, a little excerpt about the business, their address, their phone number. If they have a website, you can put it here. And then this will show what category they're under. And then you have a map here. So if you go on the back end, you'll see that the merchant hero will be this part here, this image here. And then the merchant logo would be here. The merchant introduction is this part. The title is this area. And then address, phone number, website, and the map location. And the nice thing about this is whenever you type in the location, if you scroll down and hit find address, it'll pinpoint it for you. And then it'll automatically do this map for you, which is really nice. So let me go do arts and cultures real quick. On this page, everything in here is done dynamically. The only difference that I'll show you is you're able to change this image here. This top section is all the categories that you can choose from, and if you hit the plus, it'll show the rest of them. And you can sort however you want. So if we want arts, we're already on arts and culture. So if we click on bars, it'll reset and show all the bars: entertainment, event venue, legal, so on and so forth. So if I go back into the back end and I click on pages and go to business directory, you'll see over here on the right hand corner you have your featured image. So if you ever wanted to change this, you'll just have to make sure that you stay within the dimensions of this. But let's say, okay, I'm going to remove this, set featured image, and then you can pick an image if it's already uploaded within your media library. If not, you can upload one. So you would hit upload, select a file, go to your downloads or wherever the image is, click on it and hit open. And then whenever it uploads, it'll become available within your media library. So then what you would do is you would find it, and the dimensions, for instance, are 1920 by 251, and this is for the directory. So we hit set featured, you'll see that it populates there, and hit update, and then that'll update here. I'm not going to hit update, I'll just exit out of the page because I don't want to make that change. So let's go back out to the home page. The next section we'll talk about is the latest news. And so if we go to posts, you'll see that we have all these posts that were added to the website. And you'll notice that they have the category of news. So if we click on edit here, you'll see you have the title, the content, the category of news. You'll have to make sure that's selected so that it runs through the website correctly. And then you have a featured image. Once again, you want to try to make sure that you stay within the dimensions. These are 1920 by 800, so they're fairly large, and I'll show you why they're that large. So out here, they frame really well within this area. You have the date that the post was posted, which is based on the published date. Then you have the title, an excerpt of the post if it's a little bit longer. So if it's a longer area, you'll get the ... just saying that there's more information if you click the read more. So if we click on read more, it'll go to the single post, and you'll see that because of the larger image, it frames a lot nicer when you come into the single page. If you have a little bit more content, you'll see how more content looks. And then if you hit see more for the news, it'll show you all the blog articles that are currently published, and all of this is just dynamically generated whenever you create a post. The only thing that you can change on the actual blog page is this picture, similar to the business directory. Okay, so the next section we'll talk about are these ads. So these ads are 300 by 250, and if we go into the back end again, go to advertisements, you'll notice that we have several posts here similar to the news. So let's edit Tom's Hot Dog. So this is very simple. You'll just want to name it accordingly, so that it's very easy to recognize what it is. So the business name, dash, and then what size it is. Currently the site only has 300 by 250 ads. If we ever want to do like 728 by 90, which are kind of like the pencil ads, they're already on the site. We'll just have to enable them. So here's where you'll put the URL where the business wants their ad to link out to, whether it be their website or some other website that they want it to go to. So then over here on the right hand side, you want to make sure that you do the 300 by 250 ad along with the home page. So what that says is, hey, I want it to be in the 300 by 250 section, and I want it to be on the home page. And the only other thing, and actually let me get rid of the ad block real quick because that messes this up, and let me refresh. Okay, so you'll do the same thing to set your featured image. So whenever you're creating your ad, you'll hit set featured image, find your 300 by 250 graphic, and then upload it. And then whenever you're all done, you want to make sure that you hit published. Okay, so now we'll talk about the map. And the way that you get to that is click on Maps, Maps, Downtown Panama City, and you hit Edit. And the nice thing about this is you actually get the same view that everyone is seeing on the website on the front end side on the back end, which is really nice. So if you're wanting to edit a point or a business that is already on the map, all you do is click on it, and you'll see that it adds all the information or pulls the information that's already created. So for instance, this is the title, the unique ID, which is the same as the title. We'll want to make sure that we hit the blue pin so that they're all uniform. And then this is the link to the single page, and I'll show you how to get that. So if we go back out, go into the business directory, and let's say we open bars, and let's say we were putting a point on the map for Corner Pocket. We click on Corner Pocket, and then up here, if you want to copy this, and then you would paste it here. So for instance, this is the stem to stern sailing. So I just copied the link of the single page for that specific business. So whenever somebody clicks on it, it goes straight to that page. You want to make sure that you categorize it the same as in the business directory. So you want to be aware of that. And then you want to make sure that you open the link in a new tab. I think that's good user experience, especially for the map, because you don't want them going back and forth sort of thing. Let's see. The other thing that you can do, whenever you're done, you'll want to make sure that you hit save if you make any changes. If you want to add a new landmark, you can hit add new. So we can type like testing, and click add. Hold on one second. Should have added it. Did it add it? Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, so whenever you add it, it'll populate onto the map, and then you can just click and drag it, so you can move it like this. It's very easy. And then whenever you're done with that point, you'll just want to make sure that you hit save once again. And after you're all done moving points or making any kind of adjustments that you want to make sure that you hit save changes so that it fully saves the entire map and then shows up on the front end side. And that's really it on the map. All of this is auto-populated based on the categories that you create for the points. Let's go back out to the home page now. Okay, so the events are very similar to the news. So if we go into events, it'll work the same way. So let me pull an older event out real quick. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to make sure that this is not published. So let's make this private for the time being. I'll hit update on that. So it'll all work the same way. So we can actually use the latest news as an example. So you want to make sure that you set the featured image again. Put any kind of content that you want. Put your image. You want to make sure that you do a large image similar to the news. And then then whenever you're all done with that, you can just hit publish, and that will start populating within the events. So then if you hit see all upcoming events, it'll work the same way. They'll start populating as you create events. Okay, so let me delete that so that doesn't show up. Go back out to the home page. Okay, so the next area that we'll talk about, we talked about events. The other pages, so the resources, promotional support, meetings, and history are all basically the same. They all use the WYSIWYG editor. So let's use the merchant marketing. Actually, no, let's use promotional support as an example. So if we go down to promotional support and click on edit, you'll see the WYSIWYG similar to the events and the news, and you just edit the content within here like you did on the previous site. Whatever you want to put in here, you can put a featured image if you like these nice banners. And whenever you're done either editing the page or creating a new page, you just want to make sure that you hit publish or update. And I think that'll do it. If you have any questions or concerns, or if I possibly skipped over something, definitely give us a call or send us an email. Thank you.